To quote Gilbert Chesterton, "When we were children, we were grateful to those who filled our stockings at Christmas time. Why are we not grateful to God for filling our stockings with legs?" Oh, the terrible fear our parents would inflict on us as children. I can hear the admonishments now of, "Santa's watching," or, "If Santa finds out you did this, you're gonna get coal." It seems like from generation to generation, this threat continues, and very few people know why Santa even does this. Why coal? Why not rotten bananas or, worse, old gym socks? Join me as we discover the history behind Santa handing out coal to naughty children. For most North Americans, we live in fear of getting coal from Santa until the very second we see our stockings filled with wonderful goodies. For some Europeans, especially in the Alpine, Eastern, and Northern areas, Austria, Germany, Croatia, Hungary, Slovenia, etc., it isn't just a fear. Getting coal, or worse, is a pretty good possibility. These regions have many anti-Saint Nicks that all seem to serve the same purpose of gifting naughty children with various punishments. The Germans have Necht Ruprecht. Sorry for mispronouncing that. The famous Krampus resides in many Eastern countries. The southwestern Germans, and by extension the Pennsylvania Dutch, have a figure known as Belsnickel, and there are many more. These figures often appear as anthropomorphized goats, elderly gentlemen dressed in women's clothes, carrying chains, sacks, tubs, whips, large sticks, and other implements to beat or even kidnap children. The origins of these creatures seem to stem from a few different pieces of history, coming together and evolving their modern-day mythos. So let's break them down. 1. The abducting aspects. This is the blackface disguises and the chains. They appear to have some loose roots in the Barbary slave trade along the European coast starting in the 16th century. That may not seem like so long ago, but many legends tend to have their basis in real events. Imagine living in a quiet village far removed from any larger cities, and one night your village is attacked, and some people are stolen, never to return again. Some people would be quick to jump to the fact that the village was chosen because of some prior misdeed. From generation to generation, the truth can become easily distorted into superstition. That's how myths are formed. 2. The nightmarish or anthropomorphic appearance of many of the creatures have their history in the early pagan traditions of nature deities in the areas where they come from. The Greeks had Pan, who was half man, half goat. The Celts had Cernunnos, male figure who had really cool antlers. The Germans know Cernunnos as Herne the Hunter. And the Romans had Faunus, who was also half man, half goat, and there were many others. When Christianity came to these areas, these deities of the wilderness were made to be evil in nature, and would later form the basis for the depictions of their trickster god. We know him as Satan. 3. Their mischievousness is also descended from pagan tradition of every house having a spirit or an elf that would sometimes play practical jokes on the inhabitants, or sometimes help out around the house. This is also where we get the custom of leaving food out for Santa. It was considered common courtesy to leave out milk and some yummy snacks for these sprites to keep them in a good mood. The most important thing to remember about these antagonists to Santa is that they were actually sent by Santa to make sure the naughty children were taught to be better children for the next year. Santa couldn't do it himself because he was a saint, and although the methods were rather harsh, putting on your socks and finding lumps of coal or sharp pieces of thatch would be sure to get the point across as their siblings were playing with their new toys and eating heaps of candy. Eventually, immigrants to North America brought over the various holiday traditions, and Santa became the giver of both presents and coal. To this day, we still use coal as a threat to mischievous children to remind them to be good, because Santa's checking his list and he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's been naughty or nice. What threats did you guys receive when you were younger? put the comments down below. And as my friends say, don't forget to be awesome. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Share with your friends. You can also find me on Facebook, The History Behind Us, and on Twitter. I'll put that in the About section of me. Always feel free to comment on stories you might want to hear about, different types of origins. I'm hoping to get a bunch ready to go, and we can all learn together. All right? Don't forget to be awesome.